Now, WNWY reports across the globe from What's News with You, with comedians Josh Johnson and Ashley Gavin, and you, our reporters in the field. What's News with You?
Welcome to What's News with You, the news show about everything that's not happening in the news.
If you need to know something, don't listen to this program.
This will not help you at all. It'll be completely useless, but you will have experienced it, which I guess is useful.
That's good,
Yeah,
and
good.
it is the current events for whenever this is.
Mhm,
But when you're watching it, it's not now.
Yeah.
It's past.
This is
events.
from before.
This is history.
Mm-hmm.
So not important history, really.
And thank you so much for being our guest
thank you so
anchor.
much.
Yeah.
No, my pleasure.
This is really exciting for me because this is David Litt, and we went to high school together
We did.
a very long time ago. But we also pitched a TV show together, and you're a really interesting person
Oh, thank you.
because you're an Obama speechwriter. You wrote this book, It's Only Drowning. You've done like a lot of it. How would you introduce yourself? Because I didn't know how to introduce you, to be perfectly honest.
I just was reading a review of my book, which described me as, and I'm quoting here because I remembered it, a Yale-educated speechwriter with a fear of sea creatures. And that's now, I think, how I'm only going to introduce myself. Is mostly by my education, former job, and the sea creatures.
You have all the really impressive. I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
You
This
don't have a
is
fear of sea creatures.
probably...
Which is so impressive.
You're probably our first guest anchor that could be a guest anchor anywhere.
Anywhere you could
You know what I
you
mean?
could be on you could do like a correspondent. Have you done a correspondent thing? On
yeah,
news?
what do you mean? Like, what is a correspondent thing?
You know
on
when they
news?
get this important people.
Yeah. Being thrown to.
No, like I do.
thrown.
Yeah, I do,
Yeah.
like I'm like sometimes the person who says like 2 seconds of things on cable news, and you're
Yeah.
like, that anyone could do that, and you're like, yes, and sometimes I do. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think that at all.
No,
I
don't. Yeah, I used to think of the news as like such a proper job. Like they
Yeah.
went to school for news at news.
Mm.
And,
Yeah,
and then
news you.
as you get older, you realize, it's like a lot of people just doing their job, going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just go say a couple of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Some of them not even true. you know?
Yeah, I like the idea that you go to school at a place that is named your job, not
Yeah.
even university. It's like I go
Oh.
to, it's not dental school. Like I'm a dentist because I went to dentist.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't go to Dentist, Illinois?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
Well, thank you for being here. I will do personal news now. I have some personal news.
Okay.
Do you have personal news?
Yeah, but you go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do want to say that you walked in with a Rubik's Cube today, and I held my tongue.
Yeah. For anybody who listens or watches the show, that's probably one of the more surprising and kind things. And I think we should highlight it because it didn't happen right now, it is something I was half expecting.
Yeah.
Because I was packed to the brim.
Were you testing me?
No, not
Were
at
you
all.
like, am I going to see if she's going to shove me in a locker?
No. As soon as I walked in, I regretted that it was out. But it was mainly that my backpack and my suitcase are so full. And
Full you couldn't fit a Rubik's
a
Cube.
Rubik's Cube is not like,
I'll show you later. It's like it barely fits. And so then because I had it out.
It is, I will say it's a weird shape.
yeah, well, it is also one of the only things where you can be like, I know exactly how many cubic inches of space that takes up. Right, like that takes up like 1.5 cubed
And
cubic
as
inches of
someone
space. That's not a lot of space.
Who knows how big this is? I know that there's very little to no room in my backpack because I've been gone for, I think, 10 days. And I only packed the suitcase and the backpack.
Sure.
And then I got a couple of souvenirs from Spain when I went to Spain. And then that filled me up to the brim. So now I really got to move things around.
Are you a souvenir guy?
I am a souvenir guy. Like I'll buy dog toys because we have a dog.
Okay.
So we get souvenirs for the cats and the dog. Because we're those people.
And I'm sure they really appreciate it.
They really do. I mean, they would also appreciate it if we bought them from like Uber
Right.
Eats, but yes,
Yeah.
they really
Yeah.
appreciate it. That's the nice
Yeah.
thing about animals. They appreciate everything.
Yeah.
What were your
What'd you get?
souvenirs?
Rubik's Cubes.
What?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
like I got other. So I
No, shut the fuck up.
yeah. So then this one didn't fit, but this is the one that I came with. And
You
so
got Rubik's cubes. You got Barcelona themed Rubik's cubes.
Rubik
yeah,
cube.
yeah,
Rubik's
yeah,
cube.
yeah. Like I got some more that are different, and so I.
No. Do you have them here?
Yeah.
Can you get them?
Sure, if you want.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back.
We'll take a moment. We'll
Yeah.
pause. Oh my God, there's a bag of them.
Oh my God. Okay.
There's also a mini for those of you who are fucking stupid.
Oh.
For the idiots listening to the podcast.
Yes, I just saw that and was like, maybe I could do that one.
Yeah, this
yeah.
is a one-sided
Yeah,
Rubik's
it's a
cube.
1x3, and then
Excuse me. The classic 1x3.
yeah,
Okay.
and then the bag. Admittedly, it's not all Rubik's cubes. There are some fidget spinners in here.
Oh my God.
And you
God.
Yeah.
and these are all from Spain?
So yes, all of
So,
these
Josh,
except
this is not a souvenir. This
Oh.
is a toy that you
Yeah.
bought in Barcelona.
Yeah.
This is not a souvenir.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I just
okay.
wanted to
Yeah.
put-
No. That's fine.
This-
That's fine.
this-
I'll stop saying souvenir. But if I
Thank
had
you.
said Rubik's cube to begin with, this would have happened earlier. And so I was trying to save myself with souvenir.
A souvenir, it would have to have the picture of who's the
The place
artist that
you're-
did the cathedral in
Ernst Rubik's. Yeah. No, actually, themed Rubik's cubes would be good souvenirs.
yes.
Yeah.
That's what I
yeah.
thought you were gonna
Let's
bring
start
out.
making
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a collection. These are 2x2s, a little tower, and then like a misshapen one.
Oh,
And so I haven't opened it yet because if I had opened it, at least if it's in the box, everything can be carried back home like efficiently. So got that one.
I love the
And then-
representation.
Yes.
Yeah.
A woman doing
Well,
a Rubik's
but
cube, a
it's
black
also-
guy doing a Rubik's cube.
But the
Yeah.
black guy is really excited, and the white lady is like so over it. It's like,
Oh yeah. Maybe she's fallen out of love with it.
Right.
This
Oh my
guy, this
God.
is actually
Yeah.
Josh and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So this is now,
I feel like this one right here is like someone who just got a Rubik's cube
Yeah.
versus someone who's working on their time.
Oh.
You know, because once you figure them out, you want to get faster. That's kind of the sickness of
how
it.
old were you when you started?
Oh, this was a week ago.
No.
Yeah,
You're new,
yeah, I'm new.
but you know how to do it already.
I know how to do some of it. I know how to do like the 3x3 and like the 1x3 is easy.
Josh, I couldn't do the
But-
1x3.
And would you want to?
Yeah,
No.
it's one of those skills that
Yeah.
it doesn't transfer. This one's a 6x6.
Shut the fuck up.
Are they different in Spain?
They are in
They
Spanish.
take long naps. They
Yeah.
have dinner at 10.
Right.
The cubes, you don't have to get it right.
Yeah.
You know that dinner at 10 thing is real?
Yeah.
That's really real. We were worried because we got in and we were like, when are we gonna eat? You
Yeah.
know? And yeah, turns out
No,
they stay open late.
Can you mix this up and I'll spend the rest of the episode trying?
I mean, okay. And then you want to mix this one up and I'll
You're going to
You
have
wanna
this done in
switch?
30 seconds.
not 30 seconds. You know, it'll take a couple minutes.
That's still flex.
30
really-
seconds. 30 seconds would be like wild, you know?
Solving a Rubik's Cube in general is wild.
I don't know the rules,
Yeah.
though. You know the rules and the patterns and everything. What did you do? You went online and you figured it out? ASMR.
Something like that.
Okay.
No,
So then
where in
that's
Spain were you?
yours. I went to San Sebastian with
Oh,
my girlfriend. Yeah,
So I was in like my job these days is to be like, that reminds me of my book, but it does.
live.
Because
Yes,
I went
yes.
to San Sebastian,
Mhm.
literally, with my brother-in-law on a surf trip.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so
Right,
my...
who's in the passage that you sent us, which was
Yeah.
very, very funny, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Is he in some sort of thing?
Some sort of right-wing
Yeah.
thing? No, but it took me a while to find that out. Because
Good.
I was
well,
very
I'm
nervous.
glad you got the good news.
Yeah, no, he is a fan of clothing and skull-themed stickers from a store called Born Scum.
It can be hard to recognize the difference between someone so far left that they like hate the cops. They're all tatted up. They're punk rock, emo. That also looks like the same person
Yes.
that you maybe Josh doesn't want to be around.
Right. Increasingly kind of often is the same
Why
person.
just me?
Well, I can hide in plain sight.
But so we went to
I can take my hat off and whip my hair around and go, "Hi, sir."
Hi, sir. I mean, you got to hit him with a big boy, you know?
You want me to go, "Hey, big boy"?
Yeah.
Hey, me saying
That's more undercover.
Me saying "Hey, big boy" outs myself more than the outfit.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I can say "Hey, big boy" without throwing up a little bit in my mouth.
Can
Well,
I,
if you say
can I
it's
tell you a
slow.
fun story that has nothing to do with my book, so I'm doing my job poorly?
Yeah.
George W. Bush called me big boy. So I did
Just for the listener at home, what are you, 5'7"?
no, like 5'5".
You're
maybe.
5'5"?
Yeah. I did a event about presidents and humor at the George W. Bush Library because I used to write jokes for Obama.
Right.
And this was like felt bipartisan enough. It's humor. It's not about Iraq or whatever. So I was like, I'll do that. And then it turned out they were like, oh, George, like when he's there, he's going to tell you to take off a tie. And I didn't realize he was going to be there. And then he sat in the green room and we talked for like 30 minutes. And he was reminding me exactly of my father-in-law. He's like super nice, into painting, like shouldn't be the president, but really friendly. Like a great conversation. So like, but like my father-in-law is a nice guy. I like him a lot. He should not be the president. And then George W. Bush sat in the front row and of this thing, we did the panel, whatever. And then at the end, they were like, oh, he wants to say goodbye to you. I was like, okay, sure. That's cool. And he came up and he was like, hey, nice job, big boy. And then he left.
I'm not going to lie. Hot.
Would you like to be called big boy? Josh, I can call you big boy.
No, I don't think it'll work for me.
Hey, big boy, how's it going with the Rubik's Cube?
Yeah, see, it didn't feel good
No.
to you when you said it.
Because being the same height as you, right?
How tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
Google says 5'7".
Google is wrong about this.
Ooh.
I've talked about this before. Google is wrong. I don't know where it got this information. I've never publicly.
I don't know. That sounds a lot like someone who's 5'7" covering the ground.
Jen, get in here, please. Sweetie, how tall am I?
5'7".
It's one of our little bits.
I mean, it's fire that y'all know each other so well that she knows to stay ready with how tall you are.
Wait, Josh, look how close I am. I'm 2 cubes off. But anyway, do you want to hear my version of this? Here's my news. And then we'll go to your surfing news.
Yeah.
I had to uninstall a video game from my computer. I downloaded, okay, maybe you'll get this reference. I don't know if you're old enough to get this. What are you looking at? You're smiling. You close?
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty close.
you have a look on your face. Well, Josh, he was doing his story. Oh my God, look at the way that he go. You can see it.
Yeah.
Are you this type of genius?
I mean, it depends if he solves it or not. Oh, holy shit. He solved it. No, I am not that type of genius at all.
I'm gonna kill myself.
No, you're fine.
What do I offer?
I don't know, but if you yourself do it over something far more interesting than that.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have brought it if I... Oh,
Yeah.
geez. Yeah.
I can't believe that you got these in Barcelona and called them souvenirs.
Well, I was in San Sebastian. But
San
yes.
Sebastian, whatever.
Yeah. And then I got a different one. This one's a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
Is it still a Rubik's?
Kind of, yeah, because basically it has 2 sides that can spin with all different colors, and then
Yeah.
you can flip the whole thing. So you can make this super wrong.
It's advertised as a magic cylinder.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
not a...
They don't want to be sued by Rubik's, so they...
Is there one of these shapes that excites you the most to try, and is there one that seems the most like daunting?
I think the thing that
Why are people asking me that about pussy? Okay, well, while Josh fishes through his...
I think the pyramid's gonna make me the most upset. And then some fidget spinners
Very nice.
that are
Okay, well, I'm
misshapen.
going to try, and my posture is so bad.
And then
Please
there's a little-
don't cut
there's a
me
little
out of context here, everybody.
tower that you can mix.
Oh,
up.
he's still on this.
Yeah. So,
I got a video game that was made in 1998. I used to love playing it when I was a little kid. It's called Age of Empires.
Oh, yeah.
2.
Whoa, yeah.
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 So I downloaded this thing onto my Mac that runs Windows so that I could download Steam, Windows Steam, so that I could download Age of Empires. And when I tell you that I have played hundreds of hours of this game in a very small span of time.
In like 100 hours?
Yes, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
That's
bad.
I cannot, when I am not working, it's on. No matter what I'm doing. If I'm on a plane,
Mhm.
if me and Jen are watching Love Island, I'm playing Age of Empires.
Mm,
It's not good.
mm.
And finally, I said to myself, this has got to go, which I see happening for you in the future.
Yeah. If I stop now, I'll probably be fine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the depending on the size, like I think the one that will give me the most problems is like this misshapen one. Just because once the shape gets off, it
Fools
takes
with
your
your
whole day.
instincts.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if
Interesting.
anybody can do this quickly.
Huh. What's news with you?
Well, am I allowed to just say that the book is out? Like
Yeah, of
that's
course,
news.
of course,
For
yeah.
people, I feel like writing a memoir is incredibly
I'm not
egotistical.
ignoring you. I'm just
Yeah,
working
no,
on
you're
my
just gonna
middle
work
piece.
on the puzzle while I talk about this thing that's really deeply important to me. No, writing.
Can you guys tell why I had to delete my video game?
By the way, I just can't download any video games. Like I understand I have an addiction, and so I just don't do it. But yeah, so for me, I wrote a book, and it came out this week, I believe, in the current timeline. And I'm excited about it because I'm like, this was kind of my book that I wrote when I was feeling really post-pandemic depressed.
Mm.
And then I started surfing because it's like a thing that if you're a certain type of guy
Yeah.
who's been successful and then you hit a speed bump, like Mark Zuckerberg started surfing, like a lot of people, like a bunch of crypto bros. I'm not either of those things. But like if you're a successful sort of basic guy and you hit a speed bump, you just end up surfing. It happens.
You're so right.
Yeah, it happens to every
It is either surfing or Buddhism.
yeah. That's
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like there's a couple
I have
people
taken
I've
a
met.
massive interest in Buddhism lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple people I've met that hit a little speed bump, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden they got those beads.
And often it's basically there's a wraparound because you get there's literally a book that's like meditating through the waves or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But so I started surfing with my brother-in-law, who is like, he is a very tattooed pickup driving electrician from Brick, New Jersey, who is also like Joe
Brick,
Rogan's
New Jersey.
Brick, New Jersey, which is known by people who live there as Bricktucky.
Okay.
That sounds
it.
like where they make blue collars.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Like only blue collars come out of Brick, New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, the Jersey, something that is genuinely awesome about the Jersey Shore is it's one of the last places where you, like middle class people, can live near the ocean. And Brick is like one of it's like the little slice of intense Trump country in New Jersey that is also by the shore. And so that's where Matt lives. And we didn't really talk before we were surfing. Then we started surfing. And then, so the book is kind of about that. And it's really like, I kind of thought of it as a rom-com, except I'm married to his sister. But it's about like whether the two of us can become friends.
Right.
And the surfing is there too. And there's some sharks. And now it like exists in the world, which is really, but books are weird because you spend so much time on them and then you're done with them a year before they come out. And then they finally come out.
Yes.
And so it's a very, in a world where almost everything is immediate feedback,
Mm-hmm.
books are 100% the opposite of that. And they're very scary for that reason.
Wiggling it doesn't do it.
It absolutely. Let's see if you can do it again.
So the thing, when you start surfing,
The adults
Yeah.
are talking.
Yeah.
Play with your
Yeah,
Rubik's
just
Cube,
enjoy-
Ashley.
Well, there's a video game somewhere.
Yeah.
So the thing when you start surfing is you immediately become that insufferable person who's like, oh yeah, that's exactly like surfing.
Mhm.
But so here's the thing that I think is actually the most helpful in like life about surfing. For me, compared to like 3 years ago, I am a much braver person at a time when it is much scarier to be a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is
I love that.
Yeah, and I can tell you.
When have you found yourself like being brave?
So it started with getting kind of pummeled by giant waves that hold you under the water for long enough that you can't breathe anymore. So that's
where it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was for everybody.
Yeah.
But my second surf lesson ever, I was with my instructor and I was like, I've noticed this thing that happens where the wave is about to crash on you and kill you. Like, what do I do about that?
Mhm.
And I thought she would be like, well, you avoid it. And she was like, oh, that's the flower of fear. And she got really excited and she explained that in surfing, the flower of fear means that when you feel that like deeply visceral sense of like human beings have evolved so that I'm not in this spot, sometimes it's actually a sign that you're in the right place. And it means that you have to commit in that moment, because unless you're in that place where you feel that fear, you're not going to be able to get the kind of energy you want to get down the line to, do all the surfing stuff you need to do. And obviously that's helpful for, I'm sure the many, many of your
I have
listeners
that going
who
on
surf.
in my life right now.
Yeah.
The flower of fear.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like, and that's what's changed for me, is that sometimes I do think about it when I'm writing or like when I'm writing about politics or doing like the political side of my life. Sometimes like, do I want to say that? Do I want to express that opinion?
Right.
And sometimes I'm like, no. But other times I'm like, oh, the fact that I am feeling this sense of like, this is very scary. It like, instead of saying fear is something you have to overcome or something you have to avoid, saying, oh, I want to run toward that. I want to embrace and harness that fear. And at a moment when like, in the real world right now, it's terrifying. I think it's more important than ever. And I feel really so much better about that in my own life. So I like, that's the kind of thing where I'm like, oh, this is, I'm happy I wrote this book for surfers, but I'm also like, I think there's going to be a lot of like stressed out millennials who are into it.
Now, in your speech writing, when you like wrote speeches for Obama and stuff like that, did you also write the pauses?
That's a really good question.
Because he would
Clip this.
He would take a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you write for the pauses?
So sometimes, very, very, very rarely, it would be like, beat or pause, like you're writing a screenplay or something.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the thing about President Obama is that the reason he was really, like, in some ways he was hard to write for because he knows good writing. And so if you try to slip in some mediocre stuff, he would know.
Mm-hmm. Wow, you're almost there. This is crazy stuff.
Keep going. What you guys are talking about is really important, and what I'm doing is really important.
Yeah, they're equally important. So, but I think but more often he would just kind of sit he was really good at understanding. He just has really good timing, right?
Yeah.
So there was a joke. It was interesting actually when we worked with professional comedy writers, right? Like Judd Apatow wrote a lot of jokes with us. And then a whole bunch of other people. Nell Scoville, who was a comedy writer, has been for a very long time, co-created Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She wrote a lot of good jokes. They often were more like timing based. And so that would sometimes be like, there's a pause, there's a beat. And then the rest of it, he was really good at thinking about that. And sometimes, and this would be true in a joke speech, but not in a regular speech, he would add like a comma or a period because he understood that in a joke, you really need to get the timing right, and that pause needs to be there.
He's funny. He was funny.
Yeah,
at
he's
the
really
correspondence dinner.
He's a very funny person, and I think that like he also understood that he was playing with his own persona. Right, a lot of politicians don't get that when they try to tell jokes, but he was like, okay, this is who I am. This is my public persona, and the joke is partly that like I'm Barack Obama and I'm telling a joke.
Yeah,
and those two things work together.
Yeah,
and then I think over time you could see it year to year. He also got more and more comfortable just with the format because the very first correspondence dinners he would do, sometimes he would stop after a joke and just be like, and that would get a laugh, right? Because it's like he finds this funny.
Mm-hmm.
And he did that less and less as time went on. I think just because he was like, no, I'm really fucking good at this.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
And so it was, it was really fun. It was, and also like most people who write jokes for politicians are very unhappy about it. And so it was like the best version of that for so many different reasons because he could make whatever you write better than it actually was on paper.
Guys, this is all great, but I just want to say no one taught me the rules.
Okay.
No one taught me the patterns.
Yeah.
I didn't chat GPT this.
Yeah.
I didn't Google.
Uh-huh.
So I'm doing this raw.
Very raw.
Great.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But you keep presenting this Rubik's Cube and it looks the same. You're like, I have made progress.
No,
and
I
it
have.
looks-
I have. Before it had 3, and then I got
Okay.
it down to 2, and now I'm at 1. And I'm trying to make sure.
I'm mostly saying this because I don't think I could solve any
Yeah,
size
fuck
Rubik's
you,
Cube.
honestly.
I deserved that.
You know, as our guest anchor, maybe go a little easy.
I know him.
We
went to high school
We were in
together.
Midsummer Night's Dream together.
Yeah.
We were 2 of the 6 workers who didn't get cast in any good parts. I don't remember. Do you remember the song?
I don't remember the song.
The song. The song was "Hit That Jive Jack."
I remember it now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this was a Midsummer Night's Dream, but with 1950s songs woven throughout.
It was a sort of period 19. Can you stop?
I'm sorry.
And
I'm so sorry.
You were a theater.
Oh God. Oh, it's just, okay.
What's the issue? I don't see a problem with this at all. What's wrong with me singing Hit That Jive Jack?
Okay.
Alex, could you play the song so that people
gonna
know
say,
that there's no
there's- yeah.
problem here?
No, there's nothing wrong. I want you to be able to express yourself. It's just that the way that you express yourself now versus what I have to imagine to go back to that place are just such different people. Yeah, I mean, like I feel like Hit That Jive Jack with real like talent and expression with real intention versus I've just watched you call people very specific names on stage.
What names?
You know, things that I don't really say, but I could. I don't know.
Well, I said them.
Yeah, you said them, but I think you can in a way. Or maybe you can't. I don't know. You were saying a lot of stuff, but Hit That Jive Jack was not one of those things.
Listener, you're only going to be able to hear 5 seconds of this song I'm about to play because of YouTube monetization policies. But here's the song.
I remember. It's like coming to me.
Jack, Jack, put it in your pocket till I get back. Going down.
We were great.
I believe it.
Yeah.
We should probably go to recording.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We should probably check in with our correspondents in the field.
Yeah, do the throw. Josh, you're the expert.
Thank you so much to our executive producers, regular producers, and correspondents in the field for reporting the news in to us. We can't be everywhere, but you are somewhere.
You can buy your way into this position. You can bribe your way into making it onto this show by going to patreon.com/WNWY. This is where our producers earn their place as producers and executive producers and field correspondents by giving us money. Now, you're probably wondering, how much money has this podcast made? Negative money. I don't know the exact numbers. It's not good. 4 figures negative, I would say.
I wouldn't have put anything this way. I'm just very thankful for your news packages that
Yeah,
you
we
send
are thankful because
And-
we only have you and no one else.
and we do prioritize our executive producers.
We have to. Otherwise, we'd be more negative.
so that we can show you that not only are we listening and engaging, but we want to share your news with
Because
the
you've
world.
paid for it.
Because the show is What's News with You. You as in you.
And you are a bigger you, a capital YOU, if you've given us money.
What's the
All
first
media
call?
is biased.
This first.
Do you need money? Is that what this is? I can Venmo you some money. Not a lot of money.
Well, then you can report the news.
Then I'll report the news.
This first news story comes from an executive producer. This is our lovely executive producer reporting from the field, Kim.
Hi, I have another bird segment for you. My husband was at home
she's
on
back.
a Zoom call.
She's back.
This is a different executive producer, but another bird story.
Okay.
Got you.
Does she send bird stories in very regularly?
No, we got a
we
pretty
got
epic
another.
bird
We got a great
story.
bird story.
Oh, I
the
see.
other day.
Another
Yeah.
executive
Yeah.
There
producer.
was a bird story that
Just
really
so you guys know, it
shattered
doesn't
us.
have to be bird related.
Yeah.
My husband was at home on a Zoom call and he kept hearing something like banging in the window behind him, and it's just over and over again banging. And the people in the call were like, "What's happening behind you?" They could sort of see something. And he turned around and he realized there was this female cardinal just banging into the window, just flying into the window over and over. And then she flew around the house, and she, I guess, knew somehow that my daughter was in her room and was flying into the window over there. She kept going back and forth between the windows. And so my husband went outside and looked around, and he realized that we had a have-a-heart trap out there trying to catch a chipmunk or something. And there was a male cardinal in there. And the female cardinal came around and was like, basically, yeah, that's like my dumb husband. Please let him out. And so we did. He let him out. He was fine. And I didn't know birds could do that. I don't know if that's like the smartest cardinal around or if that's just what birds can do. I didn't know. Thank you for your show. That's my segment.
Can we pull up what this trap looks like? Because I'm not really clear on that.
Have a hard trap? Did you hear the full name?
Have heart, yeah.
Yeah.
So ethical?
Didn't sound too ethical given what happened. But
It feels like it feels like it should be an ethical trap because it's so close to have a heart.
Yes.
But then I think have a heart might just be the name of the
Oh
person
my
who invented
God.
the trap.
Oh, yes, it is have a heart, as in it's a name, because there's nothing heart-filled about this.
Oh my God, that looks
This
horrible.
is a true trap.
Okay, so it got inside.
yeah, I've set a trap like that for squirrels once.
Yeah, I think that's
believe
what
it
they
was for a
were.
chipmunk,
Yeah.
they said.
Yeah.
For-
Okay, yeah.
That is so funny that the birds knew.
So there are two things that this pops into my head. One is I have seen that trap before. I just didn't know what it was called because I knew a kid that when growing up, he was having a bunch of like possums and raccoons on his property. And so they were using one of those to catch, I think it was a possum. Anyway, they caught the possum and he said it was like, he wanted to like let it out somewhere else, but he was too horrified because it was the most like buff possum. Like it was the most like in jail possum that you could possibly imagine because it was stuck in the trap, but it was really like
What else? What else are you gonna do in the trap
just
other
lift
than
weights?
Yeah,
they
lift.
they do this like screech thing like whenever they make noise, but he was like it was such a big possum. It really was like a bark. Like it was just making so much noise, and it really freaked him out. And the other thing was, it's crazy to think that in another species of animal, that a wife could be like, "Hey, come help my husband.
Mm-hmm.
He trapped himself."
Yeah.
in the thing
It
that's
really
clearly
just
not
lets
meant
you know
for
that
him.
gender is absolutely real.
Well, I feel like yes. If I were ever trapped, I would hope that Jackie, my wife, would hurl herself against a wall of some kind
Mhm.
to death.
Or at least a window. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bang on that
Yeah.
window. Be like, "Hey, my husband,
Yeah.
he trapped himself
Yeah.
in the trap you clearly laid for something else."
Yep.
And he can fly, so there's
Yeah.
no real reason he should have been low
why
enough.
was he on the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably hopping and hipping and hopping.
Do you think if it had been flipped,
Mm-hmm.
if girl cardinal,
Mhm.
girl bird
Yeah.
had been in the
The
trap?
No. Of course not. Yeah.
Do you think there's any way that because I think he would have started by trying to
No, he would
get
have
her
got
out
himself stuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
He would have been like, "Let me get you out, babe." And then he would have been like standing next to her in the trap like this thing
Yeah.
crazy.
And then probably by I tried, I'm starting a new family.
Yeah, just really, like hit the trap about 2 times.
Yeah.
Nah, they got you.
Yeah.
They got you. Well, I hope they let you out. No sense in both of us being stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, thank you so much for listening, watching the show and everything. If you want your voicemail to be reacted to the way that one just was, all you have to do is hit us up on patreon.com/WNWY. And we will make sure to prioritize your voicemails in episodes.
And it's a great way to keep this podcast going. It supports me and Josh, but not just us, our producer, Alex. It makes this possible. Should we go to the next one?
Would you like to? We have another story from an executive producer. Speaking of more content, this comes from our executive producer, Marceline.
Thank you,
Thank
Marceline.
you, Marceline.
This just in, breaking news. Lesbians are something else.
Pause.
So I like to
Continue.
Lesbians are something else. So I like to consider myself one of the quiet gays, but all of my friends are freaks. So I'm at this birthday party and birthday boy turns to me and is like, do you want to work security at my birthday party? I'm like, we're already here. And they're just like, nah, the real one. And I'm built like Josh, so great at like holding your baby, posing on the beach, but not the kind of guy you would call for a fight. But my friends
Can
like,
you pause? Wow. What an attack. Yeah, admittedly, I did show with Rubik's Cubes. No, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
No, but that doesn't give you the ability to hold a baby. Yeah.
How are you going to hold a baby if you're solving a Rubik's Cube?
Maybe not well, but
Yeah.
possible.
Fuck you.
What,
You
to
can do
hold
a
a
one.
baby?
You can do a one-handed.
No, I can't do it one-handed, but the baby doesn't require two hands. The baby requires an arm. I got an arm.
You're gonna have a baby in the
I
crook
got-
of your arm.
Yeah, in the crook of my arm. Okay. All right. Well, the baby, you gotta put legs first. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh wow.
Go ahead,
Keep
go ahead.
going.
Yeah, no, just really quick before we pick this up again, I like how you started by being like, what the hell? And then you have perfectly proved this person's point. Like you're very nurturing
Wow.
to this baby while solving a Rubik's Cube.
I don't know. I don't know if he's supporting the head.
The head's so stiff. How can I?
like holding your baby, posing on the beach, but not the kind of guy you would call for a fight. But my friend's like, nah, it's usually pretty chill. I just want to make sure that nothing gets too wild. I have a list of rules to make sure that I enforce everyone stays safe. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, sure. So fast forward a few days, I pull up to the address and my friend opens the door in underwear. And I'm just like, well, we're in the South, it's hot. But I quickly realize there's like 100 people here and this is a full on like queer sex party. My shift ended with this lesbian couple with one of them strapped with some equipment, going to the point where the top's glasses like flew off and kind of broke while she was wearing them. So we had to like stop all the festivities so we could all like search and find them so she could drive home. So me and her were chatting while searching under the bed. She's still wearing her weapon, mind you. And I tell her, hey, I'm a subscriber on Patreon to one of my favorite comedy podcast as this reporter in the field. Can this be my call-in story? And she's like, hell yeah, she's also a fan of you guys.
Oh, that's
So yeah,
nice. Yeah.
so after many years of hearing guys talk about, oh, I fuck hard, I've never seen any guy go harder than those lesbians. But yeah, it was a really fun time. I fucked up a ton of peanut butter Oreos and those like flavor pretzel stick things and like the big red and white bags, but have a blessed day.
So can I just say?
Yeah.
In my mind, there was a bird thumping against the window the entire time that took place.
My husband! My husband! I actually do think like it'd be kind of fun if at a sex party, a kink party, like, do they ever think about what would happen if the neighbor showed up and needed something?
Yeah, needed like help.
Yeah,
That'd
you're
be a
just
terrible
totally
time for
inequipped to help.
Yeah.
I also love that this was news. I'm not really sure what the takeaway, what the headline is on this.
That lesbians fuck hard.
Yeah, but don't you feel like people know that?
I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Do you not know that?
I
Good work,
assumed
by
it.
the way.
Oh, thanks.
yeah. Whoa.
Thanks. I assumed it, but yeah, I guess I didn't know the way you can know, like the back of your hand.
So you don't
Yeah.
believe women?
No, it's not. There's no woman that told me for me to believe it. I
Josh,
just had to
sure
think
that
about
I
it
told
out
you
there.
many times how hard I'm fucking.
Really?
I think that I've said that to you.
Maybe I wasn't listening because I don't think I remember that at all.
Weren't listening
Yeah, like maybe I.
while a lesbian woman was confiding in you?
Confiding? That seems like bragging.
I'm gonna back up Josh here. You do not talk about how hard you fuck.
If anyone knows how hard I fuck, it's you.
Boom. Thank you, Alex.
Only for content.
You're
you would
right.
Never brag to a friend,
I think that is a thing about me.
but you would do it for money or patrons.
Yeah. So Alex is also the producer on We're Having Gay Sex.
Yes.
But I don't even think I talk about how hard I fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I'm fucking that hard, actually, now that we're there.
Well, there we go. What do you know? What
Wow.
do you know?
Wow.
Point
Wow.
proven.
The truth will be revealed eventually.
This is an interesting look, and you don't think about there being crew behind a sex party like this.
Oh,
this individual was
Yes,
yeah.
Alex,
crew,
way
the
to have a comedic
security.
angle when no one else did.
Yeah,
Security.
yeah.
We have
The-
fucking Josh Johnson right now,
Yeah.
the biggest one of the biggest comedians on the planet.
I
I don't know what I bring to the table.
I'm here.
Yeah, Obama speechwriter, TV writer, book writer, and none of us could find the angle on this not news story.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
they had to this logistic. They had to stop the whole party to find glasses. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, also didn't the caller say that their friend asked security for my birthday party,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
which is A, weird, as you pointed out, but B, it's also weird that the person wasn't like, why do you need security at your birthday party?
Yeah.
Is this some kind of
yeah.
special party? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
would this be unusual?
Do your friends
Yeah.
hit? You know what I mean? Yeah,
and the answer is in a way.
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah.
In a way.
Consensually.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone is excited to be hit.
How do you feel, Josh? We definitely have a podcast here.
I think I think I would not do my news as far as like a news story thing. And I think we could begin to wrap up. I
Okay.
feel like a little bit more about the book, and then we sort of call it.
Yeah. Is there anything else you like? What would you say is news from your book?
Mm-hmm. Like
I
so
don't know.
far, so far, like because the book is out.
Yes, the book is out.
So help us understand what it means for like you've already said how you write a book.
Yeah.
You're done with it a year before it ever comes out. So now people are reacting to it, and there's all this stuff going on.
Yeah.
But how does it feel for you? Because you have probably let a lot of this go in a way. Like it's still your life and everything, but there's some things you probably feel a little less connection to right now since it's technically 2 years since you wrote it.
Yeah, I think so for me, because I like to read books that are not homework, right? Like I want to read a book that I enjoy reading, and I want to write a book that I would enjoy reading. So for me, there's two phases, right? You write the book you want to read, and then you edit it so it's the book that other people want to read.
Yeah.
And that's the part that happens once the book is out, right? You have this like, it's like any thing inside you. You're like, I have a story, I want to tell it, I want to get it out there. And then the book comes out and it's about the connection rather than what's in the book itself. So it's that moment when other people are like, oh, you told this story that is exclusively about you, but in a way where I saw myself in it. That is really, really rewarding, because like that moment, it's like a circuit connecting, right? And it's that, and I think some writers are different. Or some, like, I think there's people who just want to be holed up and they don't care.
Yeah.
Right. It's just about getting what's in out. But I think that for me, and I think a lot of people who are on stage too, right? The connection with the audience.
It happens every time.
Yeah.
Without that, it wouldn't really.
I'm gonna glue this thing on.
No, don't. We love that it falls. Have you been reading the comments? They love that it falls.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna let it go then.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
that
being
was
here.
awesome. You were
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It was so cool also to have you here.
Yeah. This was really great. It's really nice to see you.
Yeah.
And you can find David's new book. It's Only Drowning in stores near you or on Amazon, wherever you read. And you can also read an excerpt in the Washington.
The Wall Street Journal.
Wall Street Journal. I always mix up.
Well, but this will be out. You can, I think, by the. Yeah, there's excerpts on the Wall Street Journal, Men's Health, and Lit Hub. So if well, at least one of those doesn't have a paywall.
Lit Hub is your OnlyFans?
Yes. No, Lit Hub with one T. Lit Hub with two T's is my OnlyFans.
That would be wild.
Yeah.
If Lit Hub was like the
That would be-
OnlyFans of authors, where it's like, no, I like to watch
His last
them write.
name's Lit.
Yeah.
L-I-T-T.
There are writers, like fiction writers, like, but absolutely could be like, just watch me write. That used to be a thing, actually. Like novelists used to be so big that people would travel to like Minnesota to watch like famous novelists write in like the 20s. That is before television.
That's crazy.
Ooh, yeah, and they probably at least 2 of them in that crowd probably had like a hand fetish.
Yeah.
At least 2 of them in there were like, yeah, work the knuckles.
Yep. No, there was a guy who weirdly resembles you working security at that party.
Yeah. Really not being much security at all. Really like, you can't get past me.
Yeah.
Just hand him a Rubik's Cube. You'll fly by.
Yeah.
We're done. That was really nice.
And I can tell you
We're recording?
We are on this camera.
That's wild.
I did it!
You've been so close for like 10 minutes.
I did it!
Yeah.
No one taught me. No one taught me. I did it all by myself.
That's great. No, it's nice. I really...
Listener, if you're not donating, what the fuck is your problem? What the fuck? Patreon.com/WNWY. I just taught myself how to Rubik's Cube. Are you just gonna let this natural talent die on the vine?
I don't really know how this one's related to...
You're not even mic'd. Shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna stop recording now.
No!